I'll bring Jan Henrik to come and be our first speaker, who's a co-founder, co-founder,
Yes.
Converge, and they provide data for people doing advertising and e-commerce companies. So yeah, please welcome Jan to the stage. Down, remember, down is up.
All right. Does everyone hear me?
Yes, on.
Okay, amazing. Hi everyone, my name is Jan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Converge. What we do is we do tracking setups for brands, for agencies, etc. I've personally seen around 100 stores / other charities that are around. They are conversions and they're tracking setups. So I can hopefully give you some insight into what you need to do to make sure that you can buy ads better, you get the data you need to buy proper ads. Maybe a short overview of why you want a good tracking setup to begin with. So essentially, why are we all here? There's first this data that moves into the advertising black box. That's what tracking does. That's what we're here for. So this is page views, add to carts, conversions, Google Ads. Then afterwards, you get these metrics, these attribution metrics, these performance metrics, and that's where all of you come in. And actually the most important part, which is the decision making that comes afterwards. What does that mean? It means that if you don't get your correct attribution and performance metrics, because your data is really bad, then you cannot do your job well. So we're on the same page here that you need better data to have better targeting, to have better attribution, better performance metrics, so you can make better decisions. That's why you would want to, first of all, get some insight into why would you want better tracking. How can you test that your tracking is bad? Essentially, if you go home right now, you want to check, like, are my conversion numbers even correct? The easiest way to do that is to take your G4 property, your Google Analytics 1, Universal Analytics, if you haven't switched over yet, you have to in June, so please sort that out. And go and see whether the amount of conversions that's reported there is anywhere close near a source of truth. For an e-commerce company, that source of truth of conversions is purchases, so it's your store orders. If it's form submits, go check that. If you have any other way to check your truth of conversions, go check that. There's probably going to be some big mismatch between the amount of conversions that's reported into GA4 and the actual conversions that happen. And that's bad news if you're buying ads on those, because it means you get bad data onto what campaigns are performing well and which ones aren't. This is the general case that we see. In general, we see about a 30% tracking disparity between source of truth and the actual, like, what is reported into GA4. And the biggest problem is that for some campaigns, that problem may be worse than for others. You don't know if it's uniformly distributed. Why do I take an e-com store as an example? Because it's the easiest. Like, there's a very, very clear source of truth. There are no duplicates in Shopify orders. We know that each and every one of those is a conversion. And then this is what GA4 will report. And there are basically two problems that can occur. One is how many duplicates there are. And then the second is how many are you missing of, like, unique conversions. And indeed what we see, and this is across, I would say, about 100 setups, the average we see is around 30% tracking discrepancy. Sorry. Then the next question is why is data so bad? Why do I receive really bad data? There are two things influencing data quality. There's the tracking quality itself, and there's the external factors that we're seeing right now. And I have bad news for you, because external factors have become much worse in recent years. So we have ATT, CPRA, California Privacy Act, GDPR, and also third-party cookies are going to be scrapped. So what do we know? These external constraints are becoming much, much worse. GDPR, what does that mean? Somebody's going to have to click a cookie banner before they're going to be tracked. CPRA is California Privacy Act. It's less of a direct problem there because it's only in California right now. Apple ATT, huge problem for example, Facebook ad buyers if there are anyone out there, because your iOS users will have problems. And then the loss of third-party cookies is more on the longer term. What does that mean for you? It generally means that you cannot fully rely on Facebook and the Google Pixel to do the tracking for you because they're not allowed to. And that's why they, like Facebook had, now last quarter is pretty good, but the one before it was pretty bad. And they announced themselves that this whole ATT issue is costing about 10 billion. Google is also announcing attribution remodeling due to the same problem, because they cannot track iOS 14 users. What is in your hands? It's the tracking quality. You cannot do anything about those external constraints. You can only brace for them by making sure that what you can track is being tracked properly. What are the effects of the bad tracking? You will have broken and low ROAS metrics, or over-reported ones, duplicates I've seen as well. That's one of them, so your reporting is bad. But the second thing, not to forget, is that these black boxes are using those same conversions to optimize themselves. So not only do you get bad information as to what to improve your spending on, also these black boxes are targeting based on the conversion that you give them within a campaign or within a certain ad. So it's a double problem. What can I do? That's maybe the very next question. Go check how big the discrepancy is. I have seen 30% is the average. I've seen much worse. If it's much worse, I've seen up to 70% of missing data. That's something to be figured out right now. And that's something that you don't need an external service provider for. Like, you have to tell the person who's in charge of tracking of in your company, and who is in charge of installing this pixel to fix that problem. You can get up to 70% correct tracking by just installing the pixel properly. If it's worse than that, go tell them right now, hey, I cannot do my job because the pixel is not correctly installed. That is for a GA4 pixel, Google Ads converting pixel, or a Facebook pixel, all the same. The next step, if you want to move beyond that, if it's really important to you, and you need to cross 30%, it's from 70% to 100%. Figure out if there is a way for you to get these conversions on the server. So we just talked about Shopify, where we have a second source of truth. We not only have the website browsing session of someone ordering, we also have the actual order list. If you have someone submitting forms, there's also an actual list of all conversions where you know you have all of them, and you know you have unduplicated, like once. Send those directly from the source of truth to your ad platforms. And then you can bridge this 30%. Why does that work better? This is a very dense slide. Essentially, ad blockers, the cookie banners, etc. That's what pixels track. True. That is up to 70% correct tracking. Please figure that out. It's not done well. And then, if you want to move beyond that, you will need to move to server-side tracking and really connect the source of truth of your data, so your forms or your orders, etc., to those ad platforms directly, or upload them manually to Google. The conclusions, first of all, it's going to get worse. It's external factors. Tracking is going to become worse, and you're going to have to make sure that you're aware of how bad it really is, because otherwise you're just completely in the dark. Go check yourself. Like, you're the one who's going to be impacted most, not the person installing the pixel. How bad it really is. Do you have duplicates? Are you in the correct ballpark of conversions? Go check that in GA4. That's a pixel just like the other one, so it'll give you a good estimate. If that's already figured out, you still have attribution problems, go and install server-side tracking if you have this source of truth available. Yeah, thank you very much.